I'm DebDedrick, High Performance Life and Business Coach, here with episode 137, How to Create Successful Life and Business Transitions. I think it's a really good time of the year now to get ready. Get ready ahead of time for the new year by taking a look within to see what's most important to you and maybe laying out some goals that we can work on next year so you can create a happier 2020. And the only way that's going to happen is if we take some time to lay out a framework and a roadmap that we can stick to and put on the calendar. So let's get started. Number one, let's start with going and getting a pad of paper and marking 1 to 10, and then fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, what you think are your most important goals and objectives that you want to accomplish in the next 5 years. What are they? And take some time on this. Think about if you were at the end of your life and you were looking back over and you were thinking about, oh, I didn't get this done, or I wish I would have done this. Put that in your goal sheet. Make sure these goals align up with your heart's desires. And then once you get the 10, think through it again and then cross off 5. And then really think about those 5. On those five most important dreams and objectives, which one is the most important? And pick just one. That's where we're going to start. Because you can't have too many things that you're trying to get done if you really want to get something done. And that's been something I've had to learn on my journey. So let's just pick one. Number one goal, number one objective. And from there, you're going to pick the number one goal and objective for the next 5 years. And then we're going to lay it out in specific action steps that we're going to take. And we're going to break it into categories. We're going to break it into health. Does your health support you in creating a successful transition? Are there areas that you need to ramp up and get better at? Do you need to have a better diet? Do you need to get more exercise? So there's your health. Then there's the wealth. Do you have enough money? When are you going to do this? Do you have a good grip on your finances? Because when you're creating a successful business transition, sometimes you have to dig into your pockets and you have to pay for things. I know that most people don't talk about that, but I highly discourage my clients from quitting their job before they have an income stream that has replaced their current income. That just will create chaos and havoc if you quit your job before you have an additional stream of income. So getting your finances in right in front of you, and you know exactly how much is coming in and how much is going out, and what little part of that you might be able to carve out to help you create a successful business transition. So then we have our health and our finances, and then how about some support? It's very, very helpful along your journey to creating a successful transition to have people on your team or in your relationships at home and out in the world that support you on your journey, that will help you keep going when it gets tough, because it does get tough to create a transition, because a lot of times people want you to stay in the same role that you've always played. And for you to have enough ability and persistence and determination to push through others that will maybe discourage you requires a support system, not only in your mind, but with people around you. And you can get that from podcasts, you can get that from coaching, you can get that from your team. It really makes a humongous difference. And the fourth one, when I'm looking at my life and I'm talking to you about a successful life and business transition, I mean that. I do not believe that you can have a successful business or career if you're not happy at home, and vice versa. You can't cut them off. They are so intertwined in your whole being. So being in touch with who you are as a person spiritually, and what's important to you spiritually, and taking good care of yourself spiritually will help you have enough self-awareness and commitment to self, and maybe serving a bigger purpose to allow you to create a successful life and business transition. Now, I did touch on a little bit about a support system. I'm starting a challenge group on January 1st, 2020. And if you want to join me on the 30-day challenge on how to create a successful life and business transition, I'm going to be coming out with some links and some opt-ins where you can join the challenge, because it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to give you the momentum that you need and the support that you need without a huge financial outlay to get going, so you can create a really successful 2020 period. I'm so excited about that. Period means end of discussion. Let's do this thing. Let's stop thinking about it. Let's start doing something. Let's get in the group and let's get going. Let's get clarity and let's create some small wins together. So thank you so much for joining me today on episode 137, where we talked about how to create a successful life and business transition by getting clarity on your number one goal. What is the one thing that's most important to you that you're going to focus on? Creating 4 different categories on how it's going to support you and where you need to be working on these things. It would be your health, your finances, a support group, and spirituality. All those work together to create a better you and to give you the tools that you need to push through the pushback that you're going to get from people that don't want you to succeed, because it's human nature for people not to want to see the ones they love or work with to change because maybe they feel left behind. I can't read other people's minds, but I know for a fact this is true. I really want you to win in 2020. I really want you to create the outcomes that you so desire. I want you to learn to create a life that you've been dreaming of and not create or be stuck in a life that you're reacting to. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you on my next tip, and think about joining me on my 30-day challenge. You'll be getting some updates on that coming right up. Thanks again, and you have a great